Do you ever wish that you could take whatever life throws at you and just somehow take it on the chin and move on? Have you ever wondered how some people have this aura of resilience and for whatever reason they can just take life as it comes? Even if they're dealing with a hardship or they're, a sense of failure, maybe they're enduring some kind of pain, they just seem to be able to let it roll off their backs. They shrug it off and they just keep going. But how do they do it? Well, welcome to today's Mindset Mondays video, a video series brought to you by me, yours truly, David Faratian. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and mindfulness coach. And in today's video, what I really want to focus on is this area of mental toughness and give you hopefully a number of strategies that you'll find useful, or at least to give you a chance to reflect on these strategies that might show you why sometimes you treat life with a little bit too much oversensitivity, or maybe you allow it to get to you too much. And so I want to start from this angle. Life is 10% what happens to you, but it's 90% how you choose to either react or respond to it. Now, if you've watched my other videos, you'll know I'm all about mindfulness, and you'll also know I'm about managing those thoughts. And it's important sometimes to switch off the emotional part of your brain through, whatever strategy helps, and to establish more of a responsive attitude to life rather than to react to it. And you can only do that by learning to slow your thoughts down. Plenty of videos on that. But I'm also going to argue today that some people are undoubtedly born with this capacity, this robust personality that just allows them to get on with life. Nothing seems to really touch them, or even if it does, they manage those emotions pretty quickly and they manage to come back from it. But for the rest of us, we have to develop strategies. And whether it's you who are feeling oversensitive, or you're judging a certain situation, whether you're dealing with thoughts around a relationship and you're wondering what the other person's thinking, and more often than not, you're reading their facial expressions and coming to the wrong conclusion, well, that's going to add to all of the anxiety and stress, which I'm sure you would agree, life's, tough enough as it is. We don't need to add to it by overcomplicating how we manage that part of our awareness. So if for whatever reason you are oversensitive, just stop for a minute and don't be tough on yourself straight away. Just remember that every single human being is either equipped with emotional armor or they have to learn it. They have to learn through sometimes quite tough life lessons how to become a little bit more resilient. It's something that ultimately isn't taught in schools. We're not taught to be resilient, and it is something that I believe really does need to be addressed as we move into this age of social media and being, I guess, overburdened by other people's judgments and views. We are very easily drawn in to a sense of not trusting ourselves and not really believing in who we are. So how do we do this? How do we get to a place where we have more resilience? Well, the easy answer would be we numb ourselves in some way. We numb ourselves to everything and we just become like a robot. But of course, that's ridiculous. If we numb ourselves, we're not just going to numb the bad parts of ourselves. We're going to numb the good too. And that makes us indifferent. That makes us into people who can't be approached. Our relationships suffer, and our ability to just be a nice person suffers. So it's not about numbing out all your emotions. That would be ridiculous. So I would argue it's about three things. And the three things are this. The first strategy is to learn to become more adaptable. Learn to be more flexible. Don't get so stuck in your ways. Don't get so stuck and cling so strongly to your expectations of the way you want things to go. Because you and I both know that is never going to happen. We are never going to be totally satisfied and happy with our lives if we think that it all hangs on this one expectation of it's going to go the way I want it to. Life doesn't do that. Life throws a curveball at you. Suddenly you'll find a relationship has failed, or a business opportunity that you thought you were going to get has gone, or a situation at work hasn't turned out the way you wanted it to. Your children aren't developing the way you wanted them to. And so you've got to be able to be adaptable and flexible. You've got to be able to, I guess, learn to roll with the punches and almost just say, well, it is what it is. Haven't we heard that phrase so many times? That's not saying you roll over and just take it and, that's the end of it. But research shows that the one key skill that we need to develop is more flexibility. We need to allow some of those thoughts that overbear us to just roll off us sometimes. So just learn sometimes to be okay with the way situations outside your control turn out. Remember the old adage, what we resist in life is always going to persist. So try and develop a more of a flow mindset. Try and develop that ability to be at peace with however the outcome turns out. And more often than not, because you stop fighting it, it will probably turn out a lot better than you were expecting. One of the mantras that you might like to practice, and I teach this to my clients, is think of it like this. Things don't have to go my way in order for me to be okay. Just say that to yourself, right? Things don't have to go my way in order for me to be okay. You see, the more we learn this sense of resilience, the more we're able to just let go and just get on. So the second strategy is similar, but not quite the same. And it's the idea of don't cling rigidly to a particular goal either. In other words, don't put all your emotional eggs into one basket. If you're too focused on one particular goal, it may not always turn out, again, how you wanted it to. Whether it was that, sort of job you were going for, or that relationship that you had targeted, or that party that you had planned, or that, holiday that you're expecting to be this one experience, and it let you down, and it wasn't quite what you were thinking it was going to be. Focus more not on the goal itself, but focus on the process. Focus on being present in the process of getting to that goal. Life is about that journey. Get on the journey and just see where it takes you sometimes. Because if you can become a lot more, if you like, quote unquote, chilled with the idea of life, then life is less likely to be able to become your enemy. It's less likely to be able to become this obstacle instead of something that we enjoy being a part of. And the third strategy that I want to teach you today is this. In order to become more mentally tough, more mentally resilient, learn to bounce back. Let me say that again. Learn to bounce back. If you think about it, a gauge of your physical fitness comes down to how you work out in the gym. Wherever your rest rate was and wherever your beats per minute gets to, how quickly those beats per minute return to the rest rate is an indication of health. It's an indication of fitness, shall we say. Well, it's exactly the same when it comes to your mental health. How quickly are you able to be knocked down, but somehow, boing, you spring back up? If you fall down, get back up. Don't wait. Don't wallow in your own self-pity. Don't play the victim to your circumstances. Because if you do that, you are ultimately doomed. Stand up. Respect yourself. Have a sense of your own self-worth and your own self-value. Have the, and please forgive me for the use of this language, have the attitude that you're going to be unfuckable with. Yeah? Think about that. Do not allow life to dominate you. Okay? Nobody is going to make you do that. But if you are always thinking that any failure is a sense of the end, then you are finished. Failure is only feedback, pure and simple. It's about giving you a perspective on, well, you did it wrong this time, but you can sure as hell do it better next time. Every time you get knocked down, see it as a blessing, because it's going to teach you something, and it's going to give you skills that are going to allow you to get back up and get stronger. So, I'm going to leave you with this. Life is going to hurt you. Life's going to throw curveballs at you. It's not always going to be straightforward. But survival and being a, shall we say, a balanced human being, somebody who ultimately comes through this, dusts themselves off and says, what's next? That is the attitude that is going to allow you to make life as happy as possible. So I hope, again, you found today helpful. I'd like to, as always, invite you to like, comment and share. You can, if you're on my YouTube channel, please subscribe for future videos. I'm hoping to continue this series. And if you have any comments of your own, good or bad, I'm old enough and ugly enough to take them on the chin. If you don't agree with something, tell me. But also give me a good reason why you're arguing. In today's society, we're very good at complaining. We're very good at saying, oh, my view's the right view and no other view. No. You know, Twitter is one of the best ways to keep yourself angry and to keep yourself in a place where you want to, show off your opinion. Fine, show off your opinion, but tell me why. Just explain to me why you feel I might be wrong. I'm open to that, and I look forward to speaking with you again. This is David Faratian. I'll speak with you soon. Bye-bye.